So in the last period, we already discussed Newton's three laws. First law, second law and third law. In first law, we have to see that the particle keep its motion or it keep its position of rest, still we have to apply the external force on it. Second law is that the rate of change of momentum is nothing but the force. That is, whatever the force is developed is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. And third law is that for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Now in this period we have to discuss what is the application of Newton's law. Basically we have to consider here the first application of Newton's law is projectile motion in resistive medium. What do you mean by resistive medium? Resistive medium means those medium which resist the motion of that particle or that body. So first of all we have to see what is projectile motion. If suppose that we have to take one of the body, for example we have to take one of the stone, and if you have to throw that stone in a sky, what happen? Up to the certain height, that particular stone or particular body goes up to the certain height and again goes to the ground, because gravitational force is acting on that, and because of that, that particular body which is going to the upward direction after attaining the maximum height, it again goes to the ground. So now we have to consider how the projectile motion is to be occur. For the well-known example, here we have to say that one of the body is thrown to the space or say sky or say in upward direction, then that particles or that body are making the motion in such a way that makes the maximum height and goes again to the ground. We have to consider how the motion of that body is to be take place. That is, we have to consider the motion of that body along horizontal direction, along vertical direction. But while considering this, we have to consider certain assumption. What is that assumption? The gravitational force acting on that body at every place is the same, is our first assumption. What is our second assumption? We know very well the earth is to be rotate with some speed, and we have to assume that there is no effect of earth rotation on the projectile motion. And third one is that what is the resistive force is to be acting on the motion of that projectile body, it directly proportional or it support to the motion of that particular body, that is projectile body. This is the three assumptions. On the basis of this we have to consider these mathematical equations. First of all we have to say the particle is thrown or body is to be thrown in upward direction with velocity v. So initial velocity of that body is considered as u, which are throwing from ground, making an angle say theta, that is nothing but your angle of projection. Now initially what is the velocity acquired by that particular body, that is to be denoted by along x-axis vx0 is equal to u cos theta, along vertical direction that is along y-axis vy0 is equal to u sin theta. Now we are interested to find out the horizontal direction, in horizontal direction that is along x-axis, how much displacement of that particle will take place. So for the purpose of that we have to consider the equation of motion for horizontal component of motion. So first of all we have to say Fx is equal to, that is force is equal to mass into velocity with constant of proportionality k. So Fx is equal to minus k m vx. First question is that why minus sign is arises here. So whatever the force is to be applied to that projectile body, opposite to that the gravitational force is to be applied on that. Therefore we have to get this minus sign here. So we have to say Fx is equal to minus k m vx. So what is Fx? That is nothing but mass into acceleration. along x-axis. What is velocity? Say for our convenience that velocity is Vx. Then what is expression then? dVx by dt. So we have to put that value here, m into dVx by dt is equal to minus km Vx. Then we have to get dVx by Vx is equal to minus k dt, because mm get cancelled here. So we have to arise the equation number 2. If you have to integrate that equation, we have to get log of Vx, that is ln of Vx is equal to minus kt plus c1. What is c1? Yes, c1 is constant of integration. So to getting the value of constant of integration, we have to consider the initial condition. For initially, that is at t is equal to 0, the value of Vx is equal to Vx0. So we have to put that value here. So we have to get ln Vx at t is equal to 0, this will go into 0. Then c1 is equal to ln Vx0. So that is the constant of integration. We have to put this value of constant of integration again in equation 3. We have to get ln Vx is equal to minus kt plus ln Vx0. Then using the log rules, we have to get ln is equal to Vx upon Vx0 minus kt. So Vx is equal to Vx0 exponential of minus kt, is raised to minus kt. But what is Vx? Vx is nothing but the velocity along x-axis. What is velocity definition? Rate of change of displacement. That is Vx is equal to dx by dt. So we have to put here Vx is equal to dx by dt is equal to Vx0 e raised to minus kt. We have to put here value of Vx, that is dx by dt. So dx is equal to Vx0 e raised to minus kt into dt. So integrating this equation again, we have to get x is equal to V0 upon k e raised to minus kt plus c2, where c2 is again constant of integration. For solving this value of constant of integration, again we have to consider the initial stage, that at x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0 at t is equal to 0. So putting this value here, we have to get c2 is equal to minus Vx0 upon k. So if you have to put this value of c2 here, then we have to get x is equal to Vx0 upon k into 1 minus e raised to minus kt. So since Vx0, that is nothing but the velocity along x-axis, initial velocity along x-axis, that value is u cos theta. We have to put that value, that is Vx0 is equal to u cos theta here. So we have to get x is equal to u cos theta upon k into 1 minus e raised to minus kt. This gives the position of the body at any time t along the horizontal axis. Now we have already getting the equation of body along horizontal axis at a time say t. That value is x is equal to u cos theta upon k 1 minus e raised to minus kt. This is our equation number 8c. Now in the same way, we have to interesting to find out the equation of body along vertical axis. For the purpose of that, we have to consider how much force is to be act on that body when bodies travel along the y-axis or along the vertical axis. We know very well there is a two type of the forces acting on that body at a time. One of them is the force which is to be applied to that body to throw in a space in sky. Then another force which is opposed to the motion of that body, that is nothing but the gravitational force. So while we have to consider the force acting on that body when body is traveling along y-axis, at that time we have to consider the force due to the gravitation, that is mg, and minus km vy, that is a force which is applied on that body. So we have to say that this minus sign of this one it arises because of the direction of force acting due to the gravity is opposite to the motion of that body. Then we know very well if force is nothing but mass into acceleration, we have to consider the particle are moved in upward direction. So displacement is along y-axis, that is considered as velocity along y-axis is vy. So rate of change of velocity is nothing but the acceleration. So m into dvy by dt is equal to minus mg minus km vy. So dvy by dt, we have to transfer this here. minus g minus k vy. I'm going to be cancelled here. So we have to get dvy upon g plus k vy is equal to minus dt. We have to take minus sign common here, and so we have to get minus dt here. Integrating this equation, we have to get 1 upon k ln of g plus k vy is equal to minus t plus c3. This is equation number 11. This is c3 is nothing but constant of integration. We have to get the value of constant of integration by considering the initial condition. So for t is equal to 0, vy is equal to vy0. What is vy0? Vy0 is our initial velocity of our body along y-axis. So putting this value here, we have to get the value of c3 is equal to plus 1 upon k ln of g plus k vy0. Then using this c3 in equation number 11, we have to get this equation, that is 1 upon k ln of g plus k vy minus t plus 1 upon k ln of g plus k vy. So by using the logarithmic rule, we have to get ln is equal to g plus k vy upon g plus k vy 0 is equal to minus t into k. So we have to solve this equation in such a way that g plus k vy is equal to g plus k vy 0 e raised to minus kt. So g plus k vy is equal to minus g into e raised to minus kt plus k vy 0 e raised to minus kt. So k vy keeping to the one side, other terms is to be going to the RHS, that is right hand side. We have to get vy is equal to minus g by k e raised to minus kt plus vy 0 e raised to minus kt minus g by kc. So vy is equal to vy 0 e raised to minus kt, this term. We have to take common g by k in between these two terms. We have to get this equation 1 minus e raised to minus kt. This equation number 13 say. So what is velocity? That is velocity is along y-axis. So when body is traveling along y-axis, displacement covered by that body is along y-axis, that is to be counted in the form of y. So velocity is nothing but rate of change of displacement. So we have to get dy by dt is equal to vy0 e raised to minus kt minus g by k 1 minus e raised to minus kt. So dy is equal to vy0 e raised to minus kt into dt minus g by k 1 minus e raised to minus kt into dt. Integrating this equation, y is equal to v minus v0 upon k into e raised to minus kt minus g by k into t minus g by k square into e raised to minus kt plus c4. What is c4 again here? That is nothing but our constant of integration. Again consider the initial conditions, that is t is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, because initially when t is equal to 0, that body is not to be moving in upward direction. So that situation, the displacement covered in upward direction, that is along y-axis, that is equal to 0. So we have to get c4 is equal to v0 upon k plus g by k square is nothing but value of our constant of integration c4. Putting this value in equation number 13, we have to get the y is equal to minus v0 upon k e raised to minus kt minus g by k into t minus g by k square e raised to minus kt plus v0 upon k plus g by k square. Now same equation is to be written as y is equal to g plus k v y0 upon k square bracket complete 1 minus e raised to minus kt minus g by k into t. This is our equation number 14. But we know initial velocity along y-axis, that is vy0, that value is nothing but u sin theta. So along x-axis it is u cos theta, along y-axis it is u sin theta. We have to put that value here. So we have to get g plus k u sin theta upon k square into bracket 1 minus e raised to minus kt minus g by k into t. This is equation number 15. Now we are interested to find out the equation of path. For the purpose of that, we have to take the equation number 8. What is our equation number 8? X is equal to u cos theta upon k in bracket 1 minus e raised to minus kt bracket complete. So we have to write this equation as 1 minus e raised to minus kt, other terms to the other side, kx upon u cos theta, call this equation number 16. We have to solve this for equation number t. Sorry, solve this for time period t say. For the purpose of that, we have to get 1 minus kx u cos theta is equal to s minus kt. Taking logarithm, we have to get ln of 1 minus kx upon u cos theta is equal to minus kt. So t is equal to minus 1 upon k ln of 1 minus kx upon u cos theta. So we have the series expansion of logarithmic terms of ln of 1 plus j is as z minus z square upon 2 plus z cube upon 3 minus z4 upon 4 plus dash dash dash. So here z is considered as kx upon u cos theta. So we have right here z as a kx upon u cos theta. We have to get the expansion of this term, that is 1 minus kx upon u cos theta, like this. T is equal to minus 1 upon k minus kx upon u cos theta minus k square x square upon twice u square cos square theta plus k cube x cube upon 3 cube cos square theta plus dash dash dash. This is equation number 17. Now we have to solve this equation and we have to get t is equal to x upon u cos theta plus kx square twice u square cos square theta plus k square x cube upon 3 u cube cos cube theta plus dash dash. We have to call this equation 18. So now we have to use equation number 16 and equation number 18 and equation number 15. So by using these two equations 16 and 18 and equation 15, we have to get y is equal to j plus k u sin theta upon k square into kx u cos theta minus g by k into bracket in small bracket say x upon u cos theta plus kx square twice u square cos square theta plus k square x cube upon 3 u cube cos cube theta. By solving this, we have to get gx upon ku cos theta plus x into sin theta upon cos theta minus gx upon ku cos theta minus gx square upon twice u square cos square theta minus kg x cube upon 3 u cube cos cube theta. So sin theta upon cos theta is nothing but tan theta, and then those terms which have to be cancelled here, this term will be going to cancel. We have to cancel. We have to get y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square upon twice u square cos square theta minus kg x cube upon 3 u cube cos cube theta. All this equation 19. This 19 gives the equation of path for a projectile in a resistive medium. In resistive medium means in presence of resistance. That is, resistance is in the form of years say here. Then if you have to consider there is no resistive medium, that is constant this resistive medium, that is k is equal to 0, then we have to get the equation y is equal to x tan theta minus g x square upon twice u square cos square theta. This is nothing but equation of parabola, and we have to say that projectile motion trace the path, that is the parabola. That is parabolic path is traced out by projectile motion. We have to now already obtain the equation of path of that projectile body. That value of that is that projectile path along y direction is given by relation 20. So that is nothing but the displacement of the particle along y-axis. And we already seen that the projectile motion of that body trace out the parabolic path. That is, we have to get the equation of parabola here. Now we have to interesting to find out range of projectile. Question is that what is range of projectile? We know very well when body is to be thrown from one place and it is reaching to the other place after attaining the maximum height. They are reached again to the ground. The maximum horizontal displacement covered by that particular body is nothing but our range of projectile. So we have to say, for our convenience, R is equal to range of projectiles. So using x, that is the displacement of projectile body along the x-axis, is say capital R. When we have to consider the displacement along x-axis, that is along horizontal axis, at that time we have to say that displacement of along y-axis is not there, that is y is equal to 0. Putting this x is equal to r and y is equal to 0 in equation number 20, we have to get 0 is equal to r tan theta minus g r square upon twice u square cos square theta. We are interested to find out the value of r, so we have to keep r to one side, transfer other terms to the other side. We have to get r is equal to twice u square cos theta sin theta upon g. 2 sin theta cos theta is nothing but sin 2 theta. We have to, using that trigonometry, we have to get r is equal to u square sin 2 theta upon g. We call this equation number 21. So for getting the maximum range, it is necessary that value of sin 2 theta must be 1. So when sin 2 theta is 1, if 2 theta is equal, sin 2 theta is equal to 1, if 2 theta is equal to pi by 2, that is 90 degree. That means theta is equal to 44 degree, and we have to get r maximum, that is maximum range, u square sin 2 theta upon g. Sorry, u square sin theta upon g, then u square upon g. We have to get u square upon g. So this is our maximum range, and it is to be obtained when projected angle is 45 degree. What it means? It means that when we have to throw the body in upward direction by making the angle 45 degree, at that time we have to get maximum range. That value of maximum range is nothing but u square upon g. Now we are interested to find out the time of flight. We know very well what is time of flight. When body is thrown to the in upward direction, it reaches to the maximum height, and after that it goes to the ground side. That is again reaching to the ground. So there is two stages: time required to attain maximum height and time required to again goes to the ground. So first of all we have to consider the time required to get maximum height. That is nothing but the time of flight. So for non-resistive medium, that means when proportional of resistivity, that is a k constant, is equal to 0, that value is put in, k is equal to 0 in equation number 18, we have to get this equation, t is equal to x upon u cos theta. So x is equal to u cos theta into t. We have to call this equation number 23. Using this equation in equation number 20, that is equation of parabola, that is y is equal to u cos theta t tan theta minus g upon twice u square cos square theta u cos theta into t square. We have to put the value of t here. That means we have to get u cos theta sin theta upon cos theta into t minus g upon twice u square cos square theta t square, that is u square cos square theta into t square. So we know very well cos theta, tan theta is nothing but sin theta upon cos theta, cos theta, cos theta get cancelled here. We have to get u sin theta into t minus, this term is also going to cancel, minus 1/2 gt square is equation number 20. So if you have to differentiate this with respect to t, that means we have to get dy by dt u sin theta minus twice gt upon 2, the 2 to get cancels, minus gt. So for maximum height, that is say this height, which is noted by maximum displacement of particle in vertical direction, is nothing but h. So we have to say y is equal to h, and at this maximum height to start goes toward the downward direction, that is velocity is going to be 0 at this place. So we have to say dy by dt is going to be 0. So we have to get 0 is equal to u sin theta minus gt. If you have to solve for this t, that is t is equal to u sin theta upon g, and that nothing but the time of flight. So that time of flight is t is equal to u sin theta upon g, or this equation number 26. So we know very well body reaching to the maximum height again goes to the downward. So time required to go maximum height and time required to go the downward direction, that is at the ground. So we have to get that value is twice time of flight, t is equal to 2t. We have to put that value, that is twice u sin theta into g, on this equation number 27. If you have to put this value in equation, say displacement equation, then y is equal to u sin theta into u sin theta upon g minus 1/2 gt square, that is u sin theta upon g square. If you have to solve this equation, you have to get h is equal to u square sin square theta upon twice g. This is nothing but the height reached by that body when maximum height will be reached. H is equal to u square sin square theta upon twice g.